Okay, well, that was all very fabulous, and he made some very good points. But one of the main points that he said was that when you drink when you're younger, it can cause and lead to alcoholism when you're older. But there was a study done that said that drinking when you're younger doesn't always cause alcoholism when you're older, and it proves that. But there's another study that, and it's from youthrights.com, and it says that your body grows and changes all through life. Bodies change constantly, and growth and muscle mass and physical evidence has nothing to do with really handling how you can handle your alcohol. Like the tiniest person in the world could handle the liquor better than like a 300-pound man if they've had it throughout their life. So it doesn't necessarily have to do with how you've been given it, just how you've been taught how to handle it. So if we teach people 18 years old how to handle their alcohol, then we wouldn't have all the binge drinking problems and the crazy highway fatalities and all that kind of stuff, because we've educated them in how to be responsible with it. And when you're 18, you're technically an adult, so with adulthood comes responsibility. So that's one of the it's just another responsibility that we have. It's really not that big of a deal. And there's he mentions the Minimum Drinking Act of 1884, and it was like he said, it was an act that the government put on the states that said that if they lowered their drinking age below the age of 21, they're going to take away 10% of their highway funding, and that's not really that's kind of unconstitutional, because that's technically taking a right, that's just taking something away from the states, and we're all in the same government, but we're individual states, and taking their funding away isn't giving it goes against one of the amendments or something like that. Ever since they did that survey, ever since that law started, he said that the highway fatalities have changed, but there was a survey that was done by postsam.edu, and it says that the total number of alcohol-related accidents has gone down 1/3 since that law was created. But the reason for all those is because since that law has been in effect, there have been other laws that were put into effect causing safety on the roads, seatbelt laws and airbag safety, and just adding different kinds of precautions to cars and to how people drive. The minimum speed limit on the highways was conducted around that time as well. So it's not because of people not being able to drink. There are many other factors that the law put in place because of it. And he says when we send 18-year-olds to war, their brains aren't fully developed, but our brains are constantly changing. They're being developed throughout our entire lives. The maturity of a 21-year-old could go way beyond the maturity of a 38-year-old. It just has to do with how their environment and how they grew up, and what kind of things they went through when they were younger too. So just because they're 21 doesn't mean they're going to be able to act more responsibly than an 18-year-old. Because an 18-year-old could have had to deal with losing family and having to take care of someone, when the 21-year-old was given everything they wanted all their life. So just because you're 21 doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be as mature as a normal 21-year-old would be. And there's something else. Also, to bring Stephen's point, they've tried banning alcohol altogether from everyone in the country, and they did that during the 1920s, called the Prohibition. And there's, in The Unfinished Nation by Alan Brinkley, it says, but it also produced conspicuous and growing violations. Before long, it was easy to acquire illegal alcohol in many parts of the country, as it had once been to acquire legal alcohol. So it doesn't matter what restrictions there are on something, people are still going to find a way to get it, and it's been proven by many different historians that taking away specifically alcohol is going to make people want it more because it is such a like controversial kind of thing. Like people like to have it because it's fun and it's like it creates a social environment for everyone, and like no matter how old you are or what's going on, like people are still going to try to get alcohol no matter what. So if we might as well give it to like lower it to an age of responsible people, then maybe we can teach the rest of the people to be responsible. That's good for now. Thank you.